Hello book besties and welcome to my channel and welcome to my month-long reading vlog where my best friend chooses what I read for an entire month. So the first book I read this month was one we actually chose together, and that is because I am annotating it for her. So we thought we would choose it together, something neither of us have read before, so this could be a fun experience for us. And that book was King of Wrath by Anna Wong. So this book is a billionaire romance, which I haven't read much of, and neither has Laurel. We were both excited. This book follows Dante and Vivian, and Dante is blackmailed into an arranged marriage with Vivian, and Vivian isn't blackmailed into it, but her dad's kind of making her, and she has a very complicated relationship with her family, and she kind of just does whatever her parents tell her to. So they get thrown into an arranged marriage, and I don't think it surprises anyone when you find out that they, of course, fall in love. But this book does go through a bunch of ups and downs in the relationship as they slowly start to realize feelings, but of course there is that burning situation of him being blackmailed into the situation and trying to solve that, and Vivian just kind of breaking away from her family and finding out who she is as a person. So this is a really popular romance book, and I'm so glad that Laurel and I decided to do this one because I don't know about you guys, but I love reading popular romance books because I like seeing what the hype is, and I like seeing everybody else's thoughts and how my thoughts compare, and I cannot wait for Laurel to read this, especially after having such a fun time annotating this for her. I finally finished King of Wrath by Anna Wong. I'm not gonna lie, with it being called King of Wrath, I was expecting to be icked out a lot more than I actually was. So it is that classic kind of, he's this big grumpy guy and he hates everybody and he's violent and that kind of character, which I don't like. I don't think we should excuse violence in men. I just don't think we should. These kind of situations I don't typically like. Like, I remember reading The Fine Print and Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, and it's kind of a similar situation with him being super powerful and grumpy and just kind of not a great guy unless he's around her. I hate that. But I honestly think it worked pretty well in this one. So, in the beginning, I didn't love it quite as much. Like, him being just like super violent, like don't touch her, when he had no reason to be saying that because they barely knew each other and they didn't really like each other at first. So that did make me mad, but by the end, I think he had great character development, and I honestly thought they were really cute. Like, they had really good banter, which I don't know about you, but I am a sucker for banter. Banter will get me every single time. So I really enjoyed their banter. I enjoyed the way she teased him. Like, yeah, if he's gonna act that way, tease him. So I really did like the way they interacted with each other, and I liked the other characters as well. So I obviously know a little bit about this series. Like, it's kind of all over the internet, and I know of one specific couple in here because it's like a marriage in trouble trope, which I've never read before. But that's one of these books. I think it's King of Greed. I could be wrong, but I think that's the one. And so they make an appearance in this one. And so I kind of know a little bit about that. Just because, like, I remember just because, like, it's a new trope to me. So, like, it kind of just stuck in my mind. But I don't know any of the other couples. And so the entire book, I'm, like, trying to be like, okay, are they going to have their own book? And I really hope Kai and Isabella get their own book because I thought they were really cute and I see a lot of potential there. Just saying. But yeah, I honestly did enjoy this one kind of a lot more than I expected, which it probably sounds bad, like, Maddie, why do you just have like low hopes for these books? But I feel like it's hard. You know, they're super popular, but I feel like it's hard with the really, like, with the books known for their smut. I think it's hard because for me, they're just a hit or a miss. And I will say, the smut scenes in this book gave me the ick so bad. I'm not a smut girly, and we know that. We been know that. But I still read these books because like I enjoy the couples and I enjoy making fun of the smut. So what do you want from me? And I ended up rating it a 3.5 stars. I just thought it was good, you know? It wasn't mind blowing and there were some parts I didn't quite like, but I still enjoyed my time. So that is a solid 3.5 for me. And I can't wait for Laurel to read this. She is going to finish up a book series that she's currently reading. After she finishes up the Foxhole Court series, then she's going to pick this one up because she's a lot better at me than finishing series. And this is another series that I'm now starting and have to finish, and I will be adding it to my list. I'm sorry, guys. Blame Laurel. Don't know what to tell you. It was a good time. I started this, I think, on March 31st, and today is April 7th. So it took me a solid week to read it, which I think is pretty good considering I annotated it. It just takes me forever to annotate it. But I did have fun just doing unhinged annotations for Laurel, and I can't wait for her to read it, and I think it will make her giggle. So I finished the first book of this month. And that means that it's time for Laurel to pick my next book. So let me go grab her and we're going to see what I read next for this month. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Let's sit down. It's giving fall. This is April.
I know. It's so floppy.
The words are so small. There are so many words on this page.
There's so many words.
Okay.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Yay!
Is this gay?
No? I can't remember.
Is it just like one of those that like queer bait?
I can't remember actually. You'll have to let me know.
You don't remember anything about this book, do you?
Not really. I remember one of the guys' names is Bunny. I think.
I will be reading 2 books this month with a person named Bunny in it.
Well, they are named Bunny in the other one. They just call each other Bunny.
Okay, well.
Read the first line. The first
Read
line
the
is
first
so good.
line?
Yeah.
Okay. What read the first line?
Because I remember that.
I love how you remember the first line and nothing else. The pages are really thin.
Mm-hmm.
Of the prologue?
Yes.
Okay. The snow in the mountains was melting, and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation.
Good, huh?
That is good. It is giving If We Were Villains. I'm really excited for this.
Yay!
Okay.
I'm excited to remember things through you.
I'm not sure how long this will take me, too.
I know, I don't know
So,
either. It took
we're
me
gonna-
like a month, so.
Yeah. So we're gonna see.
Yay!
The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Let's do this.
So next, Laurel chose The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now, this feels like a classic staple for all the dark academia lovers out there. This book is really well loved and it feels like it's just critically acclaimed and a modern day classic, truly. This book follows Richard, and he grew up in California, wasn't all that wealthy, wasn't really sure what he wanted to do with his life, and he didn't have a great relationship with his parents either, just kind of stuck. And for a while, he went to college in California to become a doctor, but after taking a Greek class, he realized he loves Greek literature and literature in general, so he decides to go to a fancy liberal arts school in, I can't remember where. That's fine. but he decides to go to the school. He gets a scholarship, and when he goes there, he's told that the professor for their classical Greek classes only chooses a set of students to teach. You can't just sign up for his classes. So Richard does everything he can to become one of his students. And when he is let in, he gets thrown in with this group and starts spending all of his time with them. Now, they may not be the best influence. They're very morally gray, and Richard starts to realize how morally gray they are the more we go into the story, and he learns of the things that they've done. This book is split between a before and after of a crazy event that will change all of their lives, and the second half of the book is definitely very tense as they're dealing with the repercussions of their actions. And now they're just supposed to go on with their lives even after everything, and of course, nothing will be the same as they know it. So I finished The Secret History. I just informed Laurel on my official rating for it and let her know some of my thoughts. This is the first book of the month that she picked out. Like, we didn't pick it out together. She picked this one out. And it hurts me so much to say that this was a 2.5 star. I don't even know how to feel about it, and I just have so many mixed emotions and feelings and thoughts and opinions, and I do think I'm leaning more to the less liking side, so that makes it a 2.5 rather than an even 3. I don't even know what to tell you. It feels like Donna Tartt kind of just wrote things to happen, like just to happen. And some things felt so random and unresolved. Like, Richard got a job, and then that job was talked about during Christmas break, and then wasn't talked about again for like the rest of the book. And there were a couple of other random things that were just like thrown in there. And it felt like it was a plot point just to be shock factor or to fit into the vibes of the book. I'm not even really sure. I liked the complexities of it, but it felt like it was almost complex for the sake of being complex. And I just kind of struggled a lot with this one in that aspect of just what even was this? Why did these things happen? What? And what was the ending? Even like they're wrapping everything up with the epilogue, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll finally get some tiny level of resolution. And then even the ending of the epilogue, I was like, okay, now I'm confused again. Why did you do that? What was the point? Like, I get it, but I don't get it. And it kind of makes me feel the way reading a classical Greek epic makes me feel, so maybe that's the point. Okay, I don't think I'm the intended audience for this. I think maybe I'm too dumb. Maybe I'm too simple-minded to appreciate the full complexities of this book because I know so many people love this book, and I feel like it's so many smart and academic people that love this book, and apparently I'm not one of them. I just have so many mixed feelings, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I think we're just gonna settle for a 2.5 star rating and move on because I think it's time for me to move on from this. This took me a week to read, and it's just time to move on. So we are going to go grab Laurel, and she's gonna pick my next read. And I really hope I like it because I just feel so bad. I feel so bad. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm an adult. We're gonna move on to the next read of this video.
Okay, close your eyes. Okay.
It's so light and fluffy. Pink bunny. I figured you were gonna pick this one. I'm excited, and I also feel like even if I don't like it, it's not gonna be as bad.
Yeah.
This is not as long. How long is this?
This one will be a lot quicker.
Okay, 305 pages. Let's do it. Also, doesn't this have like feminine rage in it?
I don't really know how to describe it.
Fair. Okay.
Let's
We're
go.
gonna like it.
You don't have to. I'm scared.
It's okay. We got this. Next I'm reading Bunny.
Yay!
Next, Laurel chose Bunny for me. This was actually one I had gotten her for her birthday, and it's one that's been on my TBR for such a long time. So I was happy for this opportunity to finally have an excuse to read it. Now, this book is known as a kind of academic horror. This follows Samantha, who is a part of a very prestigious MFA program in New England. And she's a scholarship student who is studying creative writing, and she's kind of always had a dark imagination. Now, in this very selective university, her creative writing group is very small. It's just her and these 4 other women who are very odd. Now, these women all call each other Bunny. They are very rich girls and they just function as a group, pretty much. And one day, they invite Samantha to their smut salon, where they do some interesting creative writing inspiration stuff and make boys out of bunnies. So by inviting Samantha, they start to bring her into their group, and Samantha starts to conform a bit, but she also has this best friend trying to pull her out, and in the end, it's her against these bunnies trying to fix everything that has happened throughout this crazy book. Did I explain that well? Who knows? Hi. Okay, so I am packed and ready to go to my parents for Easter weekend, but I thought I would update you guys on Bunny real quick because I actually just finished it on the bus ride home. So, very exciting things. This one did take me a little bit longer to finish than I planned. I've just been struggling a lot these past couple of weeks with reading and motivation for like anything, like mainly for school, and I think that's bleeding into my personal reading. So that has been a little bit of a struggle, but we are making our way through, and I did in fact just finish Bunny. Applause, applause, I know. So I ended up rating this a 3.5 star. I like this one a lot more than The Secret History. I think it's like, I don't know. I think it can be seen as the same level of confusing as The Secret History, but I think it made a lot more sense to me. And I feel like, and I could be totally off basis with this, but I feel like Bunny is kind of just a metaphor for writing and the writing process and something like that. Like, it makes sense in my head with the bunnies they're creating and the differences between Samantha's and the bunnies, and yeah, it makes sense to me in my head. the creative writing metaphor. So I think that's kind of why I was able to enjoy this. It definitely wasn't show-stopping, amazing. I didn't feel too much of a connection to any of the characters, and I don't know. It definitely, like, it wasn't everything. I thought it would be a lot more horror than it actually was, considering it was nominated for Best Horror in 2019 for Goodreads, and it's kind of, I feel like, known as a horror book, but I'm like, I've read creepier stuff than this, so. But to be fair, I've been, like, also just reading a lot more horror, so I wonder if, like, Maddie a year ago would have seen this as more of a horror book than Maddie today. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so it definitely wasn't everything, but I am really glad that I read this. Like, thank you, Laurel, for choosing this for me to read. I did enjoy it. Like, it was weird and some things didn't make sense, but it made sense that it didn't make sense. And I feel like it made sense to Mona Awad when she was writing it. Like, she wasn't writing it just to be confusing. Like, there was a reasoning behind it, which I can really appreciate. And I just think it's a really cool book. Also, I don't know if I ever really showed you the bookmark that Laurel chose, but this is the bookmark she chose for me. This is one of my Gigi and Bo bookmarks. If you want one, go check out Gigi and Bo's website and use my code Maddie10 to get 10% off. I always love plugging that because not only is this my first like brand rep position, but I just think they're really cute and I love showing them off. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Bunny. I just enjoyed my time reading it and I can't wait to move on to the next one. And as soon as my next book is picked and in my hands, I'm going to finish packing and head to my parents' house for the weekend with Laurel. So it's not like I'm going to be finishing the book in this weekend anyways, no matter how short it is. I don't get much reading done when I go to my parents. So you'll get some B-roll probably of me at my parents, but you probably won't get any speaking updates. So we're going to go grab Laurel and we are going to see what my next book is.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Eyes closed. I'm gonna show the camera quick. Okay.
I'm so excited.
I hope you like it.
I'm actually so excited.
Okay, you have to look at the bookmark.
Is it already?
It's right in the front.
I love the. Oh my gosh! You can't even see it that well in the
Here.
camera. Will that help giving you a background? A little bit. Cute!
I think it fits with the vibes.
I think it does. Stop. No, because like the. Yeah, this will be my second nonfiction of the year.
Oh my gosh! That's insane.
I'm so excited for
Yay!
this.
I really hope you like it. I feel like it's pretty quick though.
Yeah. Is there a recipe in here?
Yeah, she just has like random stuff.
Hangover mac and cheese. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so cute?
I'm so excited.
I really hope you like it.
Next, Laurel chose Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. Now, I remember very specifically her reading this about a year ago, I think. I just remember her pausing and sharing all the quotes about friendship that she loved with me as we sat down and read together every single night, as we do, and that just made me so excited to read this. So, this is Dolly Alderton's memoir, and I think she has another one, or at least another piece of nonfiction, but this is the most prominent one. I'm sure you've heard about it. It has gotten really popular and justifiably so. This is her just sharing her story growing up and learning about these different forms of love and realizing the importance of friendship and also kind of just discovering who she is and what she needs out of life. The only other memoir I've read has been a celebrity memoir, and I don't think Dolly Alderton is that much of a celebrity. She's just a really great writer. She's written for different newspapers and articles and things like that. And she just has such a crazy life that it is so worth being shared. And I'm so glad that she did share it. And I also think it added something a little bit more interesting to the memoir as well. So I knew Laurel was going to choose this one, and I was so excited to finally be able to read it and expand on reading more memoirs, which I definitely want to read more of in the future. So I'm back sooner than I was with the previous 3 books that I've read this month, and that's because I just finished Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This book was so good. This book was so good. So this is a memoir, and I don't really like to rate memoirs. It feels like putting a grade on the way someone decides to tell their life story, and I don't really think that's fair. So I am not going to rate this, but I will say that I absolutely adored this book. It was just so deep and quirky, and it's honestly really interesting because the only other memoir I've read was Kelly Bishop's memoir, and I read that because I grew up loving Gilmore Girls and I really wanted to start reading memoirs, and I think it's cool to see the lives of celebrities that you've always kind of admired from afar. But I don't know about Dolly Alderton, and she's not really this big celebrity. She's just this writer with this crazy life. And so getting to read about her story was so interesting. I find myself relating to her in a lot of ways, but also at the same time, like, her talking about her 20s is just insane because girl is going out and partying and drinking and doing hardcore drugs, and I am here talking to my phone about books. So obviously very different, but also at the same time, like, I understand like some of the struggles she's having about like finding love, and it's also like really encouraging too because she ends this book and she's 30 and she still has yet to find the societal standard of the one, and this book really is about platonic love, and I love that so much because, like, I'm 20, I'm almost 21, and like I've never even really been on a date before, so it's just like encouraging for her to just be like living her life and not really worrying about romantic love and just like basking in her platonic love. So, yeah, I just really, really adored this book, and I'm so glad that Laurel picked this one for me, and I knew she would. I remember her reading this and her just talking about like these like moments of friendship in this book, and so I knew she'd want me to read it, and I'm just so glad that she chose this for me this month. And this is, in fact, my like second nonfiction book of the year and second memoir ever. So this is a fun time. Also, Luna is in the background. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, she's about to dive. 10 out of 10. Okay, so now that I have finished this book in a matter of 3 days, guys, I'm back. What can I say? I've had a hard month reading wise, and I don't think it's going to get much better from here, only because school is really stressing me out right now. But we're going to try our best, and we're going to go get Laurel, and we're going to have her pick out book number 5. Book number 5.
Okay.
I knew it was gonna be this one. Okay, because I like genuinely after those three, I had like no idea what you were really gonna pick, but I had a feeling it was gonna be this one after we talked about the recommendations video. Oh my gosh, I was so excited, and this one's gonna be short, so I'm definitely gonna finish it in like a couple of days. Yeah, because this is like under 300 pages.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yay! I hope you like it.
Oh my gosh. No, you have to pick out my bookmark.
Oh yeah, okay, yay.
I'm so excited. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good.
The next book Laurel chose made me so happy, and that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I've been looking forward to reading this book for a while now. It's been on my TBR for just about ever. In case you don't know, I love cozy fantasy, and this book is a super cozy magical realism book that I knew I would probably adore, and spoiler, I kind of did. So this book is about this coffee shop that has something a little magical about it. There is this seat within the coffee shop that can take you back in time, so you can talk to anybody as long as they've been to the coffee shop before. So this book follows 3 different stories about different people who use this opportunity, and they all grow so much from it as well. Not only does this book follow patrons of the cafe, but it also develops so well on the workers of the cafe and the owner, and I loved the dynamic between the workers here. I really hope that the future books in the series have them as well, because I would just love to see more of them. I feel like this book has really earned its popularity, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something kind of cozy, but also with really great messages. Yes, I did just start this book yesterday. And yes, I have already finished it. In my defense, it's literally under 300 pages. It's about 272 pages, to be exact. And it was just such a cute and quick read, so I'm not surprised it took me 2 days. No, I feel actually like myself again finishing a book in such a short amount of time. I honestly really enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna give it a solid 4 stars. It was just so cute and wholesome, and I just really enjoyed this, and the writing style, it felt very whimsical and cozy and meaningful, but also just like simple, like if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I feel like this book is so hard to describe. Like, you just have to experience it for yourself, which I definitely recommend. I just want this to be an anime. I think it'd be a really cute anime. Like, come on. I would eat that up. So unfortunately, this does mean that I have started another series. Thank you, Laurel, for that. Luckily, I think they're independent standalones. I'm not entirely sure though. I'll read them in order, but yeah, another series is now on my list. It's not a big priority for me, but it is going to be something that I do need to get done. And honestly, I feel like these would be good palette cleansers. You know? I really loved this book. I am so glad Laurel chose it for me. And she's right. It's just so cute and deep at the same time. And honestly, if you haven't read it yet, I think you should go pick it up because it's just so good. So those are my thoughts on Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Now it is time to figure out what my next read's gonna be. Okay. I have an idea of what it might be, but I'm like 50-50 on this. I don't know for sure if this is what it's going to be. I only think it's going to be this book. I think it's like a short story, like one of Laurel's favorite short stories, because she mentioned once how she might pick it for me. And I don't know what else it would be if it wasn't that. So we're going to go see if I'm right, because I love being right. And if I am, sweet. And I'll probably finish that like tomorrow. But if I'm not, then this will be like a really big surprise because I genuinely would have no idea what else it would be.
You should plug your ears.
Oh my gosh, are you picking a book off my shelf? I guess that's our shelf.
Okay. I'm kind of scared. You didn't like this though, I thought.
I didn't love it. I want to know your thoughts.
This will be my first Sally Rooney book.
I know.
She doesn't use quotations.
No, she doesn't.
And then is it a movie or a show?
Show.
Show. We'll have to add it to our list. This is 287 pages. Another short one. I love how you picked one that you didn't really love.
I know.
I kind of love that though, because this has been on my shelf for like how long? I think this one I got at the
You
library.
got at the library,
for like
yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
Slay library sales. Oh my gosh. No, I'm actually looking forward to this.
Next, Law chose Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm sure you guys have heard of this one. It is super popular and has been for what I feel like is a long time. It even has a Hulu adaptation now. Okay, so this book is a literary fiction and it takes place in Ireland. It follows these two characters named Connell and Marianne. It starts with them in high school. They have a connection because of his mom working for her family, and they kind of become friends, but she's not that well loved at school. A lot of people think she's kind of weird and don't really want to be associated with her, so he kind of hides their friendship, and of course it develops into a bit of a romance in high school. He feels like he needs to hide that as well, and he's just kind of horrible about it too. So then later in college, after everything has kind of ended with their relationship in high school, they find each other again and develop another relationship. But the tables have kind of turned because now he's kind of the unpopular one in college and she's actually kind of the popular one here. It just develops a more interesting dynamic, and this book just follows their relationship and kind of toxicity with each other and other people as well. When Laurel read this one, she didn't really like it. I remember her kind of complaining a bit about it, so I am actually really glad she chose a book she didn't like, because then I got to figure out what about it she didn't like and figure out her feelings as well as my feelings while I read this book as well. So yeah, let's go hear my thoughts, I guess. Okay, this is gonna be a very messy clip. I'm at my parents' right now because I'm dog sitting, in case you can't tell by the horrible squeaker in the background. Oh my gosh, you are so loud. Why did they get you the loudest toys? Huh? So I apologize for that. I'm not sure how much you're hearing on the mic, but this has been my last 24 hours. This is Sadie. This is my parents' new puppy. They've had her since November. And she has so much energy. Jesper is the other one. He is currently over there. He is a lot meaner. We have problems with him, but he's actually named after Jesper Fahey from Six of Crows. Can you tell who named him? I did not name Sadie. So I finally finished this. I don't know why I said finally. This only took me like 3 days. It felt like it took longer though. I feel like I think I have similar feelings about this as I did The Secret History, where it's kind of just like kind of a little bit bored, kind of indifferent about the entire book itself. I like what it was trying to do. I liked how it tried to start talking about mental health, but I don't think it did it in a very good way. I didn't like the characters, and I feel like they were a very toxic couple, which I figured they would be going into this. I think I remember hearing things about that, about them being toxic. What are you growling at? Am I about to die? No. Stop freaking me out. I think I've also seen people liking them though, and I don't get that part. Like, I don't know why you would like them. They always keep coming back together, and they definitely shouldn't. They definitely need to stop. And maybe with the ending, they will. But, like, even the ending was very unsatisfying, and I feel very similarly about The Secret History in Normal People in that aspect of just the story, the writing, the ending. Although this one was a lot shorter, which is nice because The Secret History felt like it dragged on forever, but that's okay. I am glad I read it though. Like, you guys are probably thinking I'm having a horrible time here, but I'm not. These books that Laurel is recommending me are books that have been on my TBR for a really long time. I remember talking about these books to her, saying, "Oh, I want to read that." She just happened to read them before me, okay? And now she wants me to read them because it isn't often that she reads a book before me. So I really like that I am getting to read these books and talking to her about them and talking to you guys about them. And this whole month has been very much worth it for me. And this has been something I wanted to do for a while. And I'm glad that I've finally been able to get to these books and do this. My best friend picks what I read for a month. So yeah, I'm not upset at all. I'm really glad I read this. I just have very mixed feelings, but now I really want to watch the Hulu adaptation because I'm just very curious to see what they do with it. I don't know if it's going to be better or worse, you know? Like, it's just one of those things, I don't know. So I think Laurel and I, maybe after we finish Schitt's Creek, we'll watch this real quick and then go on to our next show pick because that's just what we do. Did I say the rating? I gave this a 2.5 stars. Again, I just feel very indifferent about this. Like, I'm reading this and I'm like, I don't really care about what's happening, but I also want to know where this story goes, and the answer is nowhere. It went nowhere. I see why Laurel didn't like this, which she did recommend me a book she didn't like, but she just wanted to know what I thought about it, so I can't wait to get home and talk to her about it, and we can complain about it together. Yeah, now you're probably like, Maddie, you're stranded at your parents' house without a book to read because I'm not allowed to read anything unless she recommends it. Don't fear, okay? Don't fear. We came prepared. So I had Laurel wrap this. We're out of wrapping paper and I only had tissue paper. So we're gonna take off the cute little note she left me. She said to open this one first. She gave me two just in case, but I didn't end up reading much last night. So I'll probably only end up opening this one, but it's also really short, so you never know. So let's open it. Fun fact about me, opening gifts is like a love language for me. Yep. I knew it. I knew it. Laurel, I know you're watching, and I told you. This is Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. Oh, wow. This is going to be a quick read. Dude. Half of this is just pictures of seagulls. Okay. I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. But yeah, how many pages is this? Girls giving me short books. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's just over 100 pages. Dude, I could totally do this today. I see, and this is like really good because if it wasn't for this, I probably never would have picked this up, despite it being Laurel's favorite. Just because, like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like something that's typically up my alley. But she picked it, so we gotta read it. So let's go read Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Next, Laurel chose Jonathan Livingston Seagull, and she had actually read this when she was in high school for her AP English class, It was something that she really enjoyed, and one time, a couple years ago when we were at a bookshop, she went around the entire store trying to find it, and she finally did and brought it home. So this is one that she had told me she was likely going to pick for me, or that she was thinking of picking for me, so I wasn't surprised when she finally did. But I will say I was a little bit nervous, only because I'm not the biggest short story person, and especially knowing that she had read it for a class, especially AP English, which I didn't do good in, I was just a little bit worried. But honestly, there's nothing to be worried about because this book was so easy to read and so enjoyable. So this follows Jonathan Livingston Seagull, who, yes, he is a seagull. He's always had this obsession with flying and wanting to become the best and fastest flyer out there. But his flock, I guess, had a different perspective of flying. They thought it was just for getting food, it wasn't something to become a master at, and they kind of just looked down on him for his passion. Now, this does arise some problems within his flock, and I won't dive too much into that because that is for you to find out. But eventually, Jonathan is able to kind of find his people and develop his identity more and just be with other birds that love flying. And it really is such a wholesome book. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a short story. Okay, I moved over here because of the lighting. It's still not great, but it's like 7 o'clock. Hello, hi, yes. Excuse Sadie, she's being a menace yet again. I read this, and why was this literally one of the cutest and most wholesome things I've ever read? Why did this book about seagulls also have like this undertone of like faith and religion, and why was this seagull Jesus? I genuinely don't know if I could ever truly explain this book to you. Just know that this book is nothing like you think it would be, and I cannot recommend it enough. At first going into this, I'm like, it's a short story, I'm probably not gonna rate it because like it's short. This was like a 4.5 star read, okay? Like, it wasn't long enough to be a 5-star, but I think it is up there. I just really enjoyed my time reading this, and I know it only took me like an hour to read, but oh my gosh, it was just absolutely perfect. I would read this again. I'm so glad that Laurel bought this because like I would read this again. If I'm feeling down, I'd read this. Okay. So I guess now we have to figure out what the next book is. And this will honestly probably be the final book of April. I have no idea what it is. Literally cannot tell you. Laurel said she picked this so last minute. So I have no idea what it would be. I do know that this is the bookmark she chose for it. It's from Gigi and Bo. I have no idea what this is going to be. Wait. No, I think... Okay, locking in my guess now that this is The Frugal Wizard's Guide to Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson, which I just bought. That's what I'm guessing it is? Okay. Laurel hasn't read that, but she seemed intrigued by the idea of it, so we're gonna open it. Guys, I'm so good at this game. Oh my gosh. Stop. This is actually going to be so fun. I haven't read a fantasy in what feels like forever, so this is just going to be so fun. And it'll be my first Brandon Sanderson book too. So, oh my gosh, what a perfect way to end the month. I literally cannot. This is perfect. This is everything. Oh my gosh, Laurel, I love you. I'm sorry I'm so good at guessing, but what can I say? I'm good at what I do, so let's go get this started then, I guess. The last book Laurel chose was The Frugal Wizard's Handbook to Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. This was actually my very first Brandon Sanderson book, and it's a part of his Secret Project series, so it's not actually connected to anything, it's just a part of that series that apparently he works on books secretly. I don't know, I'd never heard of that before. But if you look on Goodreads, I think it explains it. This book follows our main male character who wakes up and finds himself in medieval England, and he sees all these burning pages around him, which he finds out to be his handbook that had exploded on his way into this world. He does have a couple of the pages to help him figure things out, but really it's just him trying to figure out where he is and who he is, because he wakes up with no memory of how he got there, of who he is, his past, or anything. So he goes along and tries to figure these things out while also being dragged into kind of a bigger situation. Now, this book is a perfect blend of science fiction and fantasy. I have never seen a blend like this before, but I really did enjoy it. And this book also has a little smidge, sprinkle, dash of romance that I really enjoyed, as well as a smidge, sprinkle, dash of found family, which you know I loved. I really just had a good time with this book, and I think everybody else should go read it so I can have somebody to talk to about this.
I think you should start every video like that.
Hello. Okay, so I am officially done. It is currently 9 o'clock on April 30th, and I just finished the last book. Like, literally, this couldn't have worked out any better. It has been confined entirely to April.
Yeah.
This is honestly so satisfying. I love it when that happens, but I thought I'd give you guys a quick update. So, you probably just saw that I just finished The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. This book was so good. I ended up rating this a 4 stars. I just really enjoyed it. It was kind of funny. I expected fantasy going into it, but it had like a really weird mix of medieval fantasy and science fiction that I've never seen before. So I thought that was really cool. I really just liked how he had no memory at the beginning and you're just figuring out with him. And I do think that the pacing threw me off a little bit at some points. But overall, I found myself really enjoying it. You really just follow this main character figuring himself out. And, like, even as he, like, remembers things, he's still figuring himself out as a person. So, I just honestly really enjoyed it. So, literally, Laurel picking this is perfect because that means I not only bought this book, but read it in the same month. And when do I ever do that?
I don't think that's ever happened before.
I don't think so either. Yeah, so I just finished that. I thought I would do a little bit of a recap for you guys for what I read in this video. I mean, you probably remember a lot better than me because it's been a whole month for me. And it's been like 30 minutes for you guys. I hope only 30 minutes. I know this video is going to be long, but we're going to go from the top. So, first book I read this month was King of Wrath. I annotated this for Laurel's birthday. Literally every single page in here is annotated. So, no page left unmarked. At least I don't think. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I found a page left unmarked.
That's really
For
weird.
the most part. What are the chances? So, this is King of Wrath by Anna Wong. We chose this together. We wanted to do something that neither of us have read, and I don't really remember how this came about.
Me either.
I think you were like, you decided you wanted to read this, I think, after you started reading
I don't think so.
No?
No, I honestly have no idea how we decided.
Laurel's discovered this book one day, and I said, I know that book, and she said she wanted to read it, and I said, it's really popular, like, I feel like I should read it too, and so we decided to read it. She has yet to read it, which is fine, because I've been making her read the All for the Game series, and she doesn't stop between books in a series, which I find really bizarre. So, she has yet to read this one.
It's like The next one after the next one.
Yeah.
It's very soon.
It's up in the queue. I'm
Yes.
not mad at all. I am very excited to
Me too.
see you read this.
I'm really excited.
And yeah,
like
there's
I'm
a little bit of
so
pen on the
excited.
back. My
Oh, that's
bad.
okay. I'm so excited.
It get messy. Yeah, so that one was a 3.5 star read. It was solid, there wasn't like anything special about it, but I enjoyed my time. Next was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Earlier in the video, I said I rated it a 2.5. I think I'm gonna go ahead and lower that to a 2-star. I don't even know how to feel about this book. Next, I read Bunny, which I think is a 3.5 or 3-star read. Again, this is one that you really don't know how to feel about it. Like, it's so complicated. Next was, I think, one of my personal favorites of the month, and that was Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is Dolly Alderton's memoir. I don't like to rate memoirs. It feels like you're grading someone on how they're telling their life story, which just feels a little bit wrong to me. So I didn't rate it, but I really did enjoy it. Next was another really great pick, and that was Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I rated this a 4 stars. Next was Normal People, and this was a 2.5 star reading.
I can't believe you rated The Secret History lower than this.
You know, I couldn't tell you why that is.
Just the vibes.
Yeah, I can really tell you why that is. Then I read Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Sorry. This is a short story. I think it's like technically 4 short stories combined, but they like tell the same story. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say about this other than the fact that I rated it 4.5 stars, and it was one of the most wholesome things I've ever read.
This one's backwards.
Yeah, they're all backwards.
Oh.
So these are all the books that I read this month. I actually read a total of 9. 8 of them were from Laurel. 1 of them was for class. For the most part, I read 8 books this month, and I think that was honestly really good. I know I read 10 in the past few months, more than that in March, I think. But I think this was really great considering it took me a while to read and annotate King of Wrath. I hit a couple of bumps in the reading road this month just with motivation. I'm nearing the end of the semester, so motivation in our household has been very low. So for the most part, I think I did really, really great. How do you think I did?
I think you did amazing. I'm
Perfect.
so pleased
Yay.
with like all the books that I got to recommend. And I think that if you would have gone through any more, I would have like run out
That's fair.
of stuff. So.
Yeah, this one was like such a last minute pick.
Yeah,
which is
because
so
I was
funny.
like, oh, she needs another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy.
And I will read, Cersei was one that
yes.
she was going to recommend, but she couldn't remember if I had read it or not. So I will read it this summer.
Yes, good. And then I can read a book you want me to read this summer. Probably.
You
not.
act like you don't read books I want you to read.
That's true.
Pretty much 3/4 of the books you read are just books that I
That's
want
true.
you to read.
That's true.
Which sounds horrible.
No.
But this is why I'm doing this video.
It's
I'm making up
willing.
for it.
I'm so willing.
So, there it is. There was my entire reading April. I don't know how well I did on this vlog. Honestly, we're going to see while editing. This is going to be a pain while editing. This probably isn't even going to come out on time. Okay, well, that is it for today's video. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you. If you have made it this far, let me know in the comments your favorite book or least favorite book that you read in April. I would love to know. And yeah, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I might see you guys next week. I don't know. Videos for the next couple weeks might be a little weird, but it's fine. Anyways, I will see you next time I see you, I guess. And bye.
You'll never see me again.
That's not true. You're probably going to come back. Sorry about that.